Hudson's Bay. The saga of the great Hudson's Bay Fur Company. And of the brave men who traveled the untrekked wilderness from Labrador to California, from Minnesota to Alaska. Starring Barry Nelson as Jonathan Banner, Hudson's Bay Man. With George Tobias as Pierre Falcone.
Northwest Country, 1824. White men, red men. Two peoples, two ways of life, two forms of justice. Difficult in the best of times, tragic in the worst. For what may be justice to one may be infamy to the other.
Mrs. Lightfoot, can you identify the prisoner?
No, I didn't see him. It was dark. But I know it was a Shoshone brave. They saw him.
Trooper Griffin, is this the man?
Yes, sir, I recognize him.
Berger?
Yes, sir. That's the man there, sir.
Have you anything to say, Oka? Well, I have no other choice. I find you guilty of assault on the person of Abby Lightfoot, and I sentence you to death.
Johnny, what is that rope for?
Better find out. Double the guard on the prisoner until the day after tomorrow. Hold it. What's going on here? Bind him. Bind him so he cannot move a muscle. You shall suffer for an attempt upon the life of an officer of His Majesty's army. I wouldn't. What are you doing, Banner? How dare you? Release my arm, sir. Just don't do what you're thinking of doing. Consider yourself under arrest, Mr. Banner. And any attempt to leave this fort will be dealt with in a military manner, as long as I am in command.
You're in command. Colonel Willoughby. Where's he?
And should you further incite this savage against lawful authority, that too will be dealt with at my order while I command. If there is another attempt at escape, shoot him like a dog. Colonel is away, Mr. Banner. And as long as he is, I am in command of this fort. And all military decisions, courts, appeals, and official business will be made by me. We'll see you later.
You all right? Johnny, one cannot tie up a Shoshone brave like a dog.
Yeah, somebody ought to tell that to the captain. Come on.
So I replied, "You, sir, are an astonishing, palpable liar." Whereupon he fixes me with his eye and he says, "You're high and mighty, sir." He says, "I ain't admitting to nothing I can't even spell."
Banner wants to see you, sir.
Any requests to see the commander are to be made in the usual manner, Berger.
It is not a usual situation, Captain.
Why are you here, Mr. Banner? To appeal your arrest?
Something a little more important than that. Concerned with life and death.
Oh, well. Speak your mind then, Mr. Banner. Speak your mind. I'm a soldier, and I deal with life and death on the battlefield. Now, just whose life and whose death?
I'd like to hear about your battlefield experiences, where and when. But right now, I'm talking about Oka's life and your death.
Is this a threat, Mr. Banner?
No, I don't threaten, Captain.
Well, neither do I. Now, hear me, Mr. Banner. You may hold a considerable position and favor with the Hudson's Bay Company, which may be enough favor for me to consider carefully any action I may take against you. But, Mr. Banner, I am still answerable only to my military superiors and to my king. Now, you may find this difficult to understand, but at the moment, Mr. Banner, I hold the power to hang you. I can, and I may. There is precious little you can do about it. Now, what is so important that forced you into my quarters?
Just forget about me, Captain. If you hang Oka, the Shoshone will burn this fort to the ground and kill every man, woman, and child with white skin. And, Captain, probably save you for that special effort that the Shoshone are noted for.
Well, then you are threatening me, Mr. Banner.
No, not me, the Shoshone.
He was seen by 2 witnesses, and the law is exact in its demands upon the convicted. Oka must die.
2 witnesses. And what did the lady in question say?
Mrs. Lightfoot was under considerable strain, Mr. Banner, as you can well understand. She only knows that it was a Shoshone brave. Now, if the Shoshone are to attack this fort, then they will attack. There's nothing more to be discussed.
Well, you've convinced me, Captain.
Indeed, sir.
Now all you have to do is convince the Shoshone.
Captain, sir.
Speak up, man. What is it?
The Indian Oka. He's escaped, sir.
If I learn you had anything to do with this, Mr. Banner, my justice shall be quick. I promise you.
Funny how Oka escaped. Wonder how it happened.
That is something, eh? One brave. Hands tied, under guard, and then poof.
Where were you?
I? Me? Where was Pierre?
Monsieur Falcon, oui.
Oh, what? I don't remember. Perhaps I was drinking or eating, or perhaps I was sleeping. I don't remember.
Mr. Banner, I'm going after that savage Oka, and I shall need your services as a scout for my column.
There's been a lot of talk around the fort, Captain. They say that Oka is innocent.
Well, I don't care what they say, Mr. Banner. You'll be prepared to scout for my column in 2 hours.
2 hours? Makes pretty close to sundown.
Afraid of the dark, Mr. Banner?
No, I'm not afraid of the dark, and neither are the Shoshone. The minute that you set foot out of here, they know that you're coming for Oka.
2 hours, Mr. Banner. And you'll take me directly to the Shoshone village. You question my authority to order you to go?
2 hours, Captain.
Till then.
Johnny, your hat is on backwards. Sacre. Does not that young chicken know what he is doing?
What do you think?
I think no. But what are we going to do?
I'm going to do what the captain wants me to do, but you...
Me?
You are going to take a message to Colonel Willoughby.
Colonel Willoughby is in Fort York. That is 2 days' journey from here. I thought that maybe perhaps, well, if there was... I will go.
Goodbye.
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 Stay where you are, Mr.
Banner, man.
Oh, yes. Jonathan Banner. Stay where you are, Mr. Banner. You weren't invited. What do you want?
Oh, nothing, just maybe a few questions.
Any reason why I should answer them?
No. It's just that you might be able to shed some light on what could be a pretty terrible situation.
All right. Speak your piece.
It's about Oka, the Shoshone brave that was...
Don't be shy, Mr. Banner. Everybody knows what happened.
Well,
I told my story, and I have witnesses to prove what I said. Go on with your questions, Mr. Banner.
you didn't identify Oka yourself.
I didn't, but the witnesses did. It was dark, and he hit me on the head, and I...
So, you're not sure that it was Oka?
Are you trying to say it wasn't him?
No, ma'am. I'm just trying to make sure that it was. He's escaped, and Captain Bell will be going after him tonight. Now, Oka swears that he had nothing to do with it. And since he's escaped, he'll be going back to his people and trying to convince them that that's the truth. If he does, and Captain Bell takes his men into the Shoshone country and tries to take Oka, they're not going to give him up. They're going to fight. And there's just one thing that can happen.
What's that?
They'll burn and kill. When Colonel Willoughby comes back, he'll, well, shall we say, attack the Shoshone.
Oh, no, you don't. You don't get me to sympathize with that dirty Indian dog. I don't care what happens. He's going to get everything that's coming to him. And it makes no difference whether I identified him or not. Troopers Berger and Griffin, they saw him, and if it hadn't been... Is that all, Mr. Banner?
Yes, ma'am. That's all. You live alone here? Where's Mr. Lightfoot?
I live alone. My husband was killed by a Shoshone brave 4 years ago. No one was punished for that, Mr. Banner.
Yes, ma'am. I understand. Any sign of Banner?
That's it.
Well, look sharp now. Hostile country.
Yes, sir.
I wonder where he is. We're going in there tomorrow, and we'll need his report.
They say you come. Thank you for help.
Well, there's some doubt as to your guilt.
Why soldiers want Oka to die?
Oka knows why.
I do nothing. Is all lie.
In the white man's justice, the innocent as well as the guilty need proof.
Shoshone word is proof to Shoshone.
And Oka say in his own words just what happened.
2 soldiers come to trade. For my furs, for powder. When I come to trade, there is woman. She screams. She rip clothes. Soldiers come take furs. Give no powder. Say I kiss woman. Woman have such hating eyes. I no touch her.
Why didn't you say all this at the trial?
I see faces in room. Faces with so much hate. I no speak.
Can you identify the men who agreed to trade with you and then tricked you?
I know their names.
What are their names?
Berga and
Berger and Griffin.
Why woman do this?
Her husband was killed by the Shoshone.
I no kill him.
Uh-huh.
You tell soldier chief to go back to fort and no come for Oka or all die.
Now, that's a threat. The soldier chief will not run before a threat.
One soldier take Shoshone brave and say him die for something he not do. Is this not threat to Shoshone?
I'll do what I can.
Not enough. You stop soldier chief coming to Shoshone country or all die.
I'll do what I can.
2 sons, Banner.
Oh, 2 days are not enough.
2 sons.
Griffin, wake up. What's the matter? Are you sure you hid those furs all right?
I told you, Berger, they're safe.
That woman sure knew what she was doing, didn't she?
If she didn't, too bad for her.
Hey, look. Won't she want her share?
Now, all she wants is to see that Injun executed.
Well, why? What's he ever done to her?
I don't know. Maybe she just don't like Injuns.
Do you know something, Griffin? I'm glad he got away.
As long as them furs fetches the price of passage back.
Yeah. And then home sweet home, eh?
Better get some more sleep.
Yeah. Might be rough tomorrow. Lieutenant Banner?
That's it.
Looks like a good day for an attack. We'll teach the Shoshone a lesson.
Lose your way, Mr. Banner?
Captain, there seems to be some area of doubt as to who lost what.
Come now, Mr. Banner. None of your up-country riddles. What did you learn on your scout? Are the Shoshone near?
Near enough. But there's something that's put things in a different light.
Meaning?
If it were found that the brave Oka was innocent, wouldn't that put your little expedition into peaceful Shoshone country in a, shall we say, questionable position?
Are you suggesting there's something I should know about, Mr. Banner?
It looks as if Oka is innocent and the troopers Berger and Griffin conspired with Mrs. Lightfoot against him.
Why would Berger and Griffin conspire, Mr. Banner? How could they profit by such a thing?
Oka had furs. Doesn't anymore.
And Mrs. Lightfoot?
Revenge, pure and simple.
I conducted a fair trial, Mr. Banner. Are you suggesting there's been a miscarriage of justice?
Just saying there's been a mistake. Are you afraid of admitting a mistake, Captain?
I'm not afraid of anything, Mr. Banner.
All right. Let's have another trial.
If Oka was innocent, why didn't he speak up at his defense at that trial?
He was afraid. He took a look at the faces around him. In his own fatalistic way, he felt he was doomed.
Would you bring Oka in, Mr. Banner?
Can I trust you, Captain?
My word as an officer. Oka will get justice.
I'll bring him in.
Banner and that Indian should be arriving shortly. All right. You men have your orders. I hope you will acquit yourselves admirably. Now, no one does anything until I give the word. Mr. Banner will find out that officers don't make mistakes. Well, I must congratulate you, Mr. Banner, on your remarkable military generalship.
Oka's ready to point out the men that tricked him.
Yeah, Oak, of course. Well, now that we have the prisoner again, Mr. Banner, I don't think it's necessary to carry on with this subterfuge any further. Seize him. And thank you, Mr. Banner. I'll see that your help in recapturing the prisoner is mentioned at your trial. Since you're one of the few here who can write, I'll ask you to be a witness at his execution.
Yeah, I should have figured you, Captain. No. It's not over yet.
Berger, send for Mrs. Lightfoot. I want her to be here to see justice dispensed. Oka has committed a crime, and he must be punished. That is justice. And it serves the Shoshone as well as the white. Take aim, men.
Just a minute.
Just what you think you're doing, Mr. Banner.
There isn't going to be any execution.
You trying to interfere with an officer of the Crown?
Officer of the Crown. Why, you're a joke. A travesty on the uniform. You're smug and stupid and arrogant. You made a mistake, and you're afraid to admit it, even if it costs the life of a man. Well, it isn't going to happen.
Well, just watch. All right, men, take careful aim.
You men keep your eye on Berger and Griffin. Johnny, you all right? Yeah, I'm all right. Sorry, Colonel. Had to be this way.
You better get back to the fort. I want to find out what this is all about. You men, take care of the captain and the Indian.
You know, this wouldn't have brought back your husband.
What will happen to the soldiers, Johnny?
Berger and Griffin will spend a couple of years in the stockades at Montreal. Captain Bell, well, he won't know till he gets to England.
And Mrs. Lightfoot?
She's going to have to live with herself.
Why do these things have to happen, Johnny?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, maybe someday things will be different.